They are going to talk about something very serious. It's a very serious assembly this morning. Wow. In which country in the world are more road accidents than in any other country in the world? Saudi Arabia. Who is on the road every day? Whoever saw a car crash? Whoever saw a car crash? Whoever was involved in a car crash? Today we have a special guest. His name is Michael Schulz. He is a paramedic from the Saudi Red Crescent. Every single day he is driving in an ambulance and he is seeing a lot of accidents. He doesn't like to see all these children involved in car crashes. And it's very easy always to blame car crashes on drivers. But there is a lot that you can do while sitting in a car to be safe in a car. And Mr. Mike Schulz will all talk about it. Please welcome Mr. Mike.
Thank you guys. So yeah, just a little bit about myself. I'm a paramedic from the United States. I've been in Riyadh now for about 8 months. I'm trying to help the Red Crescent with ground operations. Came to speak to you guys today just because it's been interesting since I've been in Riyadh, and I've noticed one thing since I've been over here is a lot of people don't wear safety belts. Do you guys notice this? Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I'm not sure, you know, in the US it's pretty common. You see everyone driving around, we all have safety belts. Nobody really thinks twice about it. But it really blew my mind coming over here, seeing this, and then also working on the street. I see car accidents every day. I think, as your school nurse mentioned, it's #1 in the world for car accidents. A lot of these people end up dying or getting severely injured because they didn't wear their safety belt. So I decided to speak to the American school and ask if I could come in and talk to you guys and just give you a brief lecture on seatbelt awareness and also road safety. So thanks for having me. It's my first time doing this, so bear with me a little bit. I think we mentioned this, Saudi Arabia, #1 in the world for road accidents of all kinds in the entire world, #1. I've heard different statistics varying from 15 to 20 people a day die here every day in car accidents. Okay, so let's look at this first picture here. This guy's cruising down the road, he's having a pretty good time. But what's wrong with the picture? Pretty easy to tell, huh? He's texting somebody, okay, that's pretty obvious. But how is this helping his driving, okay? Like, he's briefly looking on the road every once in a while, text messaging. If somebody slams on their brakes or cuts him off, or a little kid runs out in the street to get a ball, like, they're toast. You know, his reaction time is going to be a lot less than it would be if he wasn't on his phone. So ways that we can prevent this, I don't know, I don't think you guys are driving, but you know, if your driver or your parents are driving, it's good not to call them constantly if you're trying to wait for them to pick you up, or text messaging them all the time if you know they're in the car. You know, just let them focus on the road. Okay, how about these photos? Okay, a lot of garbage on the road, right? I think the emphasis here is, of course, like throwing garbage out the window. We shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be littering, obviously. But there's other things that can happen as well. It could also create road safety hazards, you know, like if you're throwing a bottle of water out the window and it hits the guy's car behind you, you know, that could distract him and cause him to swerve off the road or something. So in addition to littering being bad for environmental reasons, it can also cause road safety hazards. Okay, now this one, forgive me, some of the pictures were for the elementary class before you guys, and we'll transition into a more mature PowerPoint here in a minute for you guys, but I wanted to use some of the same pictures just to get the point across. So for this one, obviously, the kids, you know, they're hanging out the window, okay? It's important while in the vehicle to keep your hands and all your extremities and body parts inside the vehicle at all times, because if you haven't noticed, a lot of people get real close to you here when you're driving. And anything could happen if you've got your arm out the window or you're yelling at somebody, you know, it might be the last thing you do. Who wants to guess maybe what's wrong with this picture? This kid isn't in a car. Is he dreaming about road safety? What do we think maybe, what am I trying to get across here? Does anybody know? Sure.
To wake up early so that your driver won't have to be in a rush to get you to school.
Wow, that was pretty good. Yeah, you got it on the first try. That's exactly right. And it's important, you know, if you are running late, not to rush the driver. Just because I've heard, you know, a lot of reports that people maybe they're running late for school, they slept in, you know, it happens. But don't stress the driver out to try and get you here any quicker, okay? Because it's not going to help anybody in the long run. So it's important you wake up early, give yourself enough time to get ready and get to school on time, okay? Expect a little traffic or things to get in the way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and transition into the next PowerPoint now. Some of these, they're not that graphic, but some of them were just a little too much for the elementary school. Alright, so this first video I have, it's just a demonstration. I wanted to talk a little bit about seatbelts. There's no sound for this video, but as you can see, this is a crash test dummy with no seatbelt. And that's just a close-up. Yeah, so you'll notice his chest hits the steering wheel very hard, and his head actually goes through the windshield. Here's the driver with a seatbelt and an airbag. See, the airbag helps cushion his chest. His face doesn't face plant there, but the seatbelt helps stop him and he doesn't go into the windshield. And there are the two compared. So the top guy, probably not going to be feeling so good. I'm not sure what the speed limit is on that. If I had to guess, maybe 40 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour. Okay, so why do we wear seatbelts, I guess? What, does anybody know, like, why? For safety, okay, sure. So, I wonder why aren't people wearing seatbelts all the time, you know? Is it something that it's not cool, or they just haven't been told, like, how it works? I'm not sure. Okay, so that's part of the reason that I'm here today, is just to tell you guys, like every day I'm out here, I'm seeing these people, you know, get injured, die, everything, every day, okay? So part of that is, part of my job, it seems to me, is to prevent it from happening in the first place. So if I can just come here and talk to you guys for a minute and just emphasize the importance of road safety, things like not distracting the driver while he's driving, throwing garbage out the window, making sure you're not in a rush by getting to school on time, and also the emphasis on seatbelts. Hopefully it'll make my job a little bit easier also and keep you guys healthy in the long run. So wearing seatbelts is the single most effective way to reduce injury and loss of life in a motor vehicle accident. Seatbelts do save lives, I can tell you that from first-hand experience. Have you guys been learning about inertia or Newton's first law, any of this stuff? Yeah? Okay. So what is inertia? Does anybody know what is inertia? Right? If something's moving, if something's in motion, it's going to remain in motion until an external force is applied to it. So that means with the video that we just watched, the seatbelt is keeping that person in place, right? But there's still, it's not just the vehicle that's traveling at 60 miles per hour or however fast. Your body is going that fast also. So if that vehicle comes to a sudden stop, you're going to continue traveling at 60 miles per hour, okay? That's why we wear seatbelts. Okay, this is just how to wear a seatbelt and how not to wear a seatbelt. I think, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. In the top one there, the guy, he's got the shoulder strap on a little too loose. You want to make sure that that's tight across your chest, and also that it's not around your neck or anything like that. And in the second video, the lap belt is too loose. You'll want to make sure that that's tight around your waist area. You also want to make sure that it's not too high up around your abdomen, because if you do get in a car accident and you're kind of slouching down, snoozing, you know, having a good time, the seatbelt, lap belt is up here around your abdomen. That can cause internal injuries, okay? So you want to keep it further down around your waist, not your abdomen. And then in the last video, or excuse me, picture, not video, you'll see that the guy's not even wearing the shoulder strap. Maybe it's uncomfortable, I don't know, but he decided to wear it behind his back. You don't want to do that because obviously if you're going 60 miles per hour and you make a sudden stop, the top of your body is going to continue to go forward. It could crash into your legs or anything, okay? So just make sure that it's snug around your waist, your chest, and that you're wearing it properly. Okay, this is, I think we're going to skip this video because the time, or the sound on it doesn't seem to work very well, but we'll get to another one in just a second. But basically, it's, what I want to talk about is the crash test dummies once again, like the video I showed you earlier. There was a campaign in the United States when I was growing up. It was a couple of crash test dummies on commercials on TV that the government paid for, and they were these make-believe crash test dummy guys, and they would get into accidents, and their names were Vince and Larry. And they would go through the windshield and show you what happens if you don't have your safety belt, and you know, pieces of them would come off and things, and they would be talking to you like, oh, I should have worn my safety belt. Well, the American public didn't used to wear safety belts that much. In fact, I saw some statistics, oh, they're right here, 14% was the number before this campaign started. After it ran for about 10 years, it went up to almost 80%. So that's pretty amazing. It just shows that the public just needs to be told about seatbelts and shown, you know, that they do make a difference. So Vince and Larry have estimated to save over 85,000 lives during those 10 years, which is pretty remarkable. Here's one of their ad campaigns. Alright, so those are the commercials I was talking about. Okay, what about drivers in airbag-equipped vehicles? Do they still need to wear seatbelts? What do you think? Yeah? I think you're right. Yeah, because if you're not wearing a seatbelt, even though you have an airbag, okay, you can slide under the airbag. Also, the airbag is just there to kind of supplement in the crash, okay? It's a cushion of air, it lasts a second, it helps supplement the use of the safety belt. Motorists should always wear a seatbelt for all types of crashes. And also, airbags don't do very much to help you in a rear impact or rollover crash. And sometimes they don't deploy, so you can't always rely on them. Alright, here's a quick thing on airbags.
Hey, thanks to these airbags here, this job is now a piece of cake, man.
But then...
Yeah, I'll tell you something, partner. I just might stick around a few more years.
But then...
No more dashboard du jour or bibs on the glass. That's what bibs. Look out!
Even with airbags, Vince, you still got to remember to buckle your safety belt.
Now you tell me.
You could earn a lot from a dummy that can buckle your safety belt.
Okay, one more video regarding kids under 12 riding in the back seat. It's just another emphasis on airbags.
Let's use this pinata to show why kids under 12 don't belong in the front seat.
Hey, that pinata looks like me.
Really? I hadn't noticed. Hey, look, Vince. Candy.
So, that's one reason that kids under 12 should be riding in the back seat. Those airbags aren't meant for people that size. If you're under 12 years old, the pinata, yeah, hopefully it is just a pinata full of candy and not an actual person.